Design is the important thing with timber. One of the things that's really led to the decline of the use of timber is the perception that has been brought about by incorrect use of materials. The material choice is critical. Treated pine, we're seeing playgrounds and products brought over from Europe that are placed in places like Queensland, and they're expected to stand up to the conditions, and they just don't. We have timber here, naturally grown timber in Australia, that should be used and specified, but it's not being specified. The specification of the species of timber is critical to the longevity. If you use the wrong type of timber in your playground or on your structure, it will last only 8 years. Use the right type, you've got 100 years plus. There's bridges that we have in Australia that are only just being decommissioned now that are 200 years old. So they were made out of timber. No, it's not hard to maintain. Sometimes timber doesn't require any maintenance at all. Use the correct coatings on timber. We don't even need to touch it. If it's in the right circumstances, in the right position, it can just be left to grey off naturally. When it does come to maintenance, it's just as easy to unbolt a piece of timber as it would be a piece of plastic decking. And let's face it, how many bits of 20 or 30-year-old bits of plastic decking have you seen? There's a lot of play value in the material choice of timber over against all the other materials that kids have touch and feel every day of the week. They live and breathe plastic, concrete, steel, all that sort of stuff. They very rarely get to experience timber in its natural form. The timber must be fit for purpose. So at Fleetwood, we're looking at the purpose to start with. Is it indoors? Is it outdoors in really extreme elements, like a lot of our products are? So it's going to be in constant sunshine. Is it going to be submerged in water? Is it going to be in ground? These will all direct the design toward what species we use and how we're treating them, and how we're managing the engineering of them, which is really, really important. Above ground, we would use species like blackbutt and spotted gum. And below ground, and of course above, depending on where the situation is, we'd use ironbark, both types, grey and red ironbark, tallow wood, grey box. If you look at the specifications of those timbers, ironbark on its own is a 40-year below ground lifespan, and that's untreated, by the way. That's the untreated hardwood. There is a perception that these man-made plastic composites are equal to or better than timber, but I just don't understand it. Plastic expands and contracts like at a great rate. It absorbs heat, and all that expansion and contraction over the years tends to cause splits and cracks. I'd like people to show me where there is 40-year-old plastic decking that still looks good, where I can show timber decking that still looks good after that amount of time.